You had drivers, you had helpers in your house, and you had a huge business at this point.
My dad has been like the second richest in the city. Before he died, his partner in business, they sell everything. We use pallet to make as our bed. We totally dropped very, very down.
Your mom alone had to raise 7 kids, and then she said, you know what? I have to do something. And so they made a business. And I bet that taught you at a young age a lot about finances, a lot about business.
Yes, all the finances I have to take care to make sure all the business running. So basically, my children went to school. They were locked in the school and they cannot go out. They have riot in my country. It's well known as a Muslim country. They're the target Christian or Chinese. After that happened, I talked with my husband and said, I don't think this country is the best place for us to raise our kids. The first house we have in America. We rent a mobile home. My son and then my nephews live in one bedroom. My 2 daughters, the other bedroom, and me and my husband, the other bedroom.
So this was the first house you had?
I don't like the victim's mentality. I against that in my life. God will not bless you if you just lazy doing nothing and expects your boss to promote you. Once you said you cannot do it, you will not be able to do it.
Mrs. Fong, you've had an amazing life experience coming from another country and living here in the United States. And it has changed, I think, my life to watch how you operate your life. And it has changed my understanding of not only America, but also other countries in general. And I think having your experience and understanding your story would be pinnacle for everyone to change their life as well. If we could start, I'd like you to start back at the beginning and tell a little bit about your amazing story coming from an area in Indonesia that was, you were hired at a very well-off place, and you came and went through quite a roller coaster of a ride to get over here where you are now, where you raised children who are very successful as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that, starting from the very beginning?
Actually, I have a good job. And my country, my husband have a good job too. But 1998, they have riot in my country. And then Indonesia, it's well known as a Muslim country. So every time they have something not happy about the country, the target people that they will go, it's Christian or Chinese. And then us being Christian and Chinese, we are very, very targeted item for them. So when the riot happened 1998, my children went to school that close to the house of the president. So it's like a mile or 2 from the president's house. So every time the president of the country, so every time they have demonstration, they were locked in the school and they cannot go out.
Oh my.
There is one day their school closed, and then I think the kids did not allowed to go anywhere. And then usually if people say to me, well, there's going to have demonstration, I usually ignore that. I feel like, well, it's happened. And then, my kids, it's going to be okay. Not sure for that day. They are already on the way, probably halfway to the school. When I hear there's going to be a big demonstration, I just call. And I just called the driver. I said, hey, bring them back. They are not going to school today. But there are people that already dropped their kids. Their kids did not go home the whole night. So they have to stay in the school. So after that happened, I talked with my husband and said, I don't think this country it's the best place for us to raise our kids, especially with the situation like this happen almost all the time. And he said, "So where you plan to go?" I said, "Well, there is several options. One option is the very closest one because we live in West Indonesia. One option is go to East Indonesia. The other option we have to go out of Indonesia. The reason is Indonesia they have a lot Christian compared to Muslim. And then Christian and Muslim, they are very good friends. So there is less likely they are going to attack Christian in the East. But West, majority it's Muslim and they are not have good relationship with the Christian. So my husband said, okay, why don't you go? So why don't you quit work and then try to see what we can do? My husband was a merchandiser for a huge company there. They have about 100 stores, 100 department stores in the country. They call Ramayana.
Was it like a dealer?
It's like Kohl's.
Kohl's, okay.
It's like Kohl's or GCPenney here.
So he worked for the corporate office.
Yeah, he worked for the corporate
kind of
office.
buying things for the
Buying
store.
things and then, and then make sure it's put in the counter properly so people can see nicely, buy stuff. And then, that's basically all his.
So it was a good job. It was making well money.
It's a good job. Okay. It's a good job. And I was the director of finance and accounting for a chemical company. I work for the corporate, and then we have like 8 branches under us. So I was taking care all their finances. It's a good job. I basically there, my job is just take a look on the report and then approve the payment or everything, or the import, export, everything, and then people just just basically execute everything for that. It's very nice.
So you both had really good jobs.
Really good job.
And working at high-end companies. What would you say is a similar company in the U.S. that people can relate to that you were working at? Was it an oil company? It was you said it was
no, chemical company.
Chemical company.
I'm not very familiar chemical company in this country.
Okay.
But in our country, it's a chemical company that dealing with textile.
Okay.
So we are branch of German.
Mm-hmm.
We carry German branch, and then we sell coloring. So like you use your dress, the coloring of the material, it's usually people bought from our company. But since I work for the corporate, they have about 8 middle-sized sub or branch basically from the big company. Wow. From the corporate basically, which I was in charge the corporate, and I was in charge of monitoring all the finance and accounting for all the branch.
How well off were you over there in Indonesia at that time?
I think we are very good, very good. I have drivers, I have helpers in my house. I have 2 helpers in my house, so it's for me it's very good.
Very, very good.
Say. Yeah.
So you had 2 helpers. You had people that would drive your children. Your children were how old at that time?
I have a driver that drive the children. My husband drive his own car, and then I drive my own car.
Mm-hmm. And over there in Indonesia, I've been over there a couple times. They don't have a lot of people don't have their own vehicles. They have maybe a motorcycle.
Yes. A lot of them, they have motorcycles or they use bus. Mm-hmm. But God bless us, and we have all of them basically.
Mm-hmm. I want people to realize how big of a deal it was that you had to uproot because of the conflict in the country at that time, and you had to go somewhere else, and it was important that you had to survive as your family, no matter what your financial status was.
Since I was small, my dad has been like the second richest in the city. Before he got sick, he married my mom. And my mom basically just finished third year school. I'm not trying to undermine my mom, but I want people to see how God can use third grade person to basically raise 7 children. We are 7. And then my dad passed away when I was 6. With all the wealth that my dad have, before he died, his friends, very close friends, basically his partner in business, make him sign a lot of paper that he did not realize they sell everything. They sell everything. So from this level, we basically go very, very bottom.
And so you had
It's hard
nothing.
for my mom. It's really hard. I know she's trying to commit suicide 2 times, but it's not happened. Finally, she gave up. She gave up and she said, Lord, if my job to raise these 7 kids, and I will do it only if you help me.
That's how she raised you?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a lot, you know. You will think how a third grade school raise 7 children. It's almost impossible. But it's so for me it's like God sending people to her and then ask her, hey, do you need anything? Can we help you? So there is one person came and said to my mom, why don't you open a store in this house? Actually, it's not a house. It used to be my dad's crude oil factory. But we make it work as a place to live. So we use pallet to make as our bed, that kind of stuff.
Wow.
My mom make her own mattress for us and everything. So we totally drop very, very down. But my mom's committed to raise 7 of us. And then before my dad passed away, he told my mom, he said that even though you just feed rice and salt, please don't distribute our kids to other people. So my mom have to keep her promise to my dad. And then I know it's not easy raising 7 of kids. But like I said, people come and then offer her. And then there is one Christian people came and said, well, why don't you make ice candy? And my mom said, I don't have refrigerator. I don't have place to put the ice candy. And I don't even know how to make ice candy. And he's a guy. And he came, he said, I'll teach you how. So he teach my mom, and then he bring all the things that needed for making the business. And then he said, whenever you have money, you can pay small amount to me back. So my mom started that. And then in front of, it's like in front of our road, there is water company. When they hear that the factory become a place of living for somebody, the person came to see my mom and said, Auntie, why don't you open a restaurant here? And I'll send all my employees to eat here. And then every month when they get their salary, you tell me how much they owe you, and I'll take that money from them and then pay you. So my mom did that. And then there is, and they have a lot of employee that housing beside that. And then they said, this family needs to live. Why don't you open a store here? And then somebody came and said, hey, you can come and then take whatever needed to be in the store and then pay us small amount every time until you pay off. So that's how my mom started everything.
Wow. So you went from your parents went from very wealthy, the second most wealthy in the nation,
In the city.
and then went down to complete poverty because your mom alone had to raise 7 kids and your beds were pallets. And then she said, you know what? I have to do something. And so they made a business, basically a food business, and started raising things back up. And I bet that taught you at a young age a lot about finances, a lot about business.
Yes.
And even you had mentioned in a previous conversation your sister.
Yeah, my second sister, we are 7. So my second sister, as soon as my mom have all of this, my second sister, it's basically managing the money. She's about 17 years old at that time. No, 16 probably. So one day somebody came, when she finished school, high school, somebody came to my mom and said, we like to hire her. Would you let her come? But we have to go to another city. Basically, they have to fly like 2 hours to another city. And my mom said, it's okay if my girl want to do that. So my sister went there. And then I think my sister passed to me all the finance thing at the age probably 12 or 13.
12 or 13?
Yes.
Wow.
I already have to manage the money. And then there is another place that there is another crude oil company beside on the other side of the road that have 4 technicians working for them. So this young technician, their job is to make sure the machine and everything works well, but so they come and eat with us. So basically they cater food from my mom. So my mom said, okay. My mom is very good cook. And then she just cook and everything. And then again, all the finances I have to take care to make sure that all our family fit and then all the business running. So basically, so I learned that from when I was little. So basically, leave from my country, get out of my country. So finally we decide it's not go to the other side of Indonesia, to the East Indonesia, but we decide to go to Philippines.
After all that, so you had drivers, you had helpers in your house, and you had a huge business at this point. And this is after you have grown up. You're not 12 anymore. You're in your maybe 20s.
No, we left about when I was about 40, I think.
40.
Yeah.
Oh, so when you were 40, you were and so you had raised kids for about 20 years in Indonesia. Or I'm guessing from...
No, I think about 15.
15 years.
15 years
15
in Indonesia, yeah.
And so roughly it was about the late 90s when you left, correct?
1999.
1999.
Yeah, because the riot it's 1998. So it takes about a year for me to do research where we are going to go, what we are going to do. But finally, we decide to move to Philippines, knowing that we might not get job there.
Yeah.
But that's one way for us, one step to go out from my country to the other country for the safety of my kids.
And did you know the language when you got to the Philippines?
I know English very little. My husband too, but we make it work.
Yeah.
We make it work.
Very difficult to go all the way over there.
Yeah.
And so not only did you have to leave a very comfortable job, and to make you leave a very comfortable job with a very comfortable home, it must have been pretty significant riots over there. You must have seen some pretty terrible stuff on the news and around to say, we got to get out of here. And so to leave, and not only leave, but go to a country you don't really know and you don't know the language of, to restart.
I think a lot of people, even my family, they really worry about me going out of the country, because basically no one, my sister, my brother, they never go out of the country. So basically they worry about me. But did I not worry? Of course I worry, because I have to bring 3 kids, my husband and me and my nephew. My nephew came later. But at least 5 of us, it's not easy. But I just don't know at that time I have that much drive to be out of the country.
Yeah.
If you ask me now, will I do the same thing if that happen now? Probably not. No, that's not. And then just to cover up my worry, pretend not to be worried. In front of my family, I pretend not to be worried. I pretend that I'm a very strong person. But I'm worried inside my heart. I bring 4 people with me.
Yeah.
If something happened just to me, I have not much worry, as I have to have 4 people with me.
You, your husband, and 3 kids.
Yeah, me, my husband, and 3 kids.
How did you plan on providing for everybody? Did you have a little bit of, did you sell everything here and have a little cash that you would be able to survive on?
Yes, luckily, at that time when the riot happened, like the riot, it's 1998. 1998, that's happened May. I think in 1997, for some reason, all the house, and then not big house, it's small house that I buy and rent. I buy and rent it and then sell it. I have about 4 houses. So
At that time in
at
Indonesia.
that time in my country, I rely on this, how to sell this house. But at that time, I cannot sell all of them at the same time, because the price, it's with the riot in the country, the price,
The housing market dipped.
the housing market, it's just, so we have to sell one by one. But I don't know. And then people ask, there is one people that's very close to my husband. It's a supplier, because my husband is a purchaser, and in a huge, she came to me and she said to me, Fong, what can I do to help you? And I don't know, for some reason, I just said, well, please pray for me, for us. She came the second time. And I know, because she's kind of a little bit close with me, she understands my personality, that I don't like bribe. And she wants to say thank you to my husband, knowing that we are going to move out of the country, and we are going to leave our job and that kind of stuff. So she come again the second time and said, Fong, I want to know if you need something. I said, yeah, I just need your prayers. So finally she said, Fong, the third time she came, I know that your husband never take bribe. And then I know, working in that company, if you did not take bribe, your salary just enough.
So tell me a little bit about that before you go into the further story. His story was that he could take a bribe, and so was he traveling around and meeting different people that would give him bribes? Is that how it
No,
worked?
the people will come to him, and then he should say, hey, can you buy my product?
Oh, I see.
And then his purchasing amount is huge. And then it's a little bit common thing. A lot of people in his department like to take bribes. So for him to take your stuff, if you bribe him, he will take your stuff compared to other people's stuff. And that's a lot happen in his place. But
You sell my products, I'll give you a personal asset on the side, and that way I make money, you make money, we're all
exactly,
happy.
I give like, every things total that you purchase, I'll give you 2%, 3%.
Oh, I see.
And that's all the negotiation that's always happen. But I thanks God because I know my husband is going to be in that place. And I know that place, it's not easy if you are not really strong in character. So I told my husband when he took that job, I said, one thing that you have to remember, never ever take bribe. I'm married with you. I do everything I can to help you raise our family well. But I will not accept any bribe from, because for me, that's like illegal money.
Sure.
That's how I view it. And then I don't want to raise my kids with illegal money. I feel like illegal money have no blessing.
Sure.
So I tell my husband not to accept any bribes. Yeah, so basically
So they wanted to give you money because
they
they
want
knew
to
that your
give us
husband...
money the latest before we leave, but they try to approach me because they don't want me to hate them by doing that. So finally he said, please, Fong, this is just a thank you. Can we give something to you? I said, no, I don't need it. I just need your prayer. That's all I'm asking. I'm asking this person. So finally he said, what are you going to sell that I can buy? I said, well, I might sell my car because we don't need car when we don't need car anymore, our car in my country. So she said, how much you are going to sell? I said, okay, the market price, it's about some amount. And she told me, she said, okay, I'll give you this check for the amount of the car. We will take the car at the airport before you leave. So we have car until the minute we have to fly.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think that's a huge blessing. And we have a villa that I used to bring my kids every Friday night to spend Friday night, Saturday, Sunday in the area that's have very good, very fresh air. So another person said, how much you are going to sell for that? I know he didn't need that, but he just want to buy because he knows that we need to move out. Basically, they want to make our life happy.
Yeah.
Our life, it's not happy. It's like easier. And my husband's all his vendor basically queue one to each other to entertain us the last minute before we leave. So I keep telling people a huge blessing. 3 weeks. So I have already packed everything, and 3 weeks I never cook. I have breakfast, I have lunch, I have dinner. I have breakfast, I have lunch, I have dinner. So his vendor entertain us. But we take it because for us it's a way to say they want to say thank you to us, and we want to say goodbye with them.
Yeah. And so your business, did you have any residual income coming in from anything you were doing in Indonesia going to the Philippines, or did you just sell everything? Did you give anything away to your helpers, your driver?
I have driver and then a salesperson, and he continued that. And then I was monitoring from Philippines, but I think it's not last long. It's just a year. A year he was able to do that job, and then after that, I just have to give him to the supplier that selling that stuff to us. I said, I give up this business. I give it free for you, but you have to take my employee. I just have one employee. and I believe you need him. So they took him. They took my driver as driver and salesperson. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. So you really went all the way to the Philippines and not really having very much.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that?
Yeah. So after that, I think it's kind of got works in that way. That's 1 year I finished my school in Philippines.
What were you taking?
Oh, I take master in business.
Okay.
So I finished my school, and then again it's like May. I finished my school, and I went to the elementary school to pick up my daughter's grade report. And then someone talked to me and said, "Hey, I heard from my daughter that you graduate from Mastra." And I said, "Oh yeah." And she said, "What's your plan?" I said, "I don't know. I'm still thinking what to do, because Philippines, where we live, it's a little bit far from downtown Manila. So it takes about 40, it's about 30 miles. The problem, when drive there, 30 miles can hit 2 to 3 hours.
Because of the traffic.
Because of the heavy traffic. So I said, I'm kind of calculating if I have to do that job there. And she said, I said, go back 3 hours, come back 3 hours, 6 hours, working 8 hours. I came home, I'm going to be totally exhausted, and I have to take care these 3 kids and my husband.
When your kids in school at this time?
Yeah, all my kids in school, my husband in school too.
But roughly how old were your kids?
Krista was 12, Krista 14, Daisha 11, and Mario, it's 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wide range. Okay.
Yeah. So I said, I need to look for a job, but I don't know how. And she said to me, I don't think it's a good idea for you to work in Manila. I said, yeah, but if that's the only choice, I have to do it. Because we have to live. And she said, oh, okay. I did not know. The next Saturday, I went to church. Somebody came and said, are you Miss Fong? And I said, yes. And he said, this is my name card. This is a name card. You go and then call on Monday and then see this person. I said, oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
They didn't tell you who you were calling, or how did you, who you were calling?
No, he introduced himself as the treasurer of Southern Asia Pacific Division of Adventist, Seventh-day Adventist. I said, oh, okay. And he said, you go and meet my associate and then talk to him. I said, oh, okay. I went there on Monday, and then I met with him, and he said, we talked, chat here and there. Finally, he said, well, Fong, because I came after lunch, he said to me, I already offered the job to somebody else before lunch. So I said, well, it's okay. It's happened. You make the choice, and then that's okay. So I did not get the first interview job. And I think about a month later, I get a letter from that same office telling me that, hey, we have temporary job for 6 weeks. Would you like to take it? And I said, okay. So I went there, do the job. I think I get the job done in 2.5 weeks. So I told them, I said, hey, this job done, if nothing to do tomorrow, and I'm not coming. Because why should I come when I have nothing to do? So they said, oh yeah, Fong, we just have meeting, and then we have another project for 6 weeks. Would you like to take it? I said, okay, I'll do it. And I think I get that job done in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So basically, my first 6 weeks job time, it's not done, and I already get that done for 2. So I still have half week, and I said, okay, I'm done, anything I want to do. So the third time they came to me and they said, would you like to work for us?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, of course.
Sure.
Of course, I like it. So they give me a project. First thing they say, can you do this reconciliation? It's like a year behind.
Those accounting.
And I was doing that. And then I was doing that. And then I think half day I get everything done.
Mm-hmm.
But I mess up when I save the wrong thing. And then I lost all the file. All the file. So that afternoon, I redo everything. And I get done in the afternoon. And I say, hey guys, this is the job that you give it to me this morning. Anything else you want me to do? So finally they give like more permanent job.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's so funny. Before they give me that job, they asked me, they said, hey, you have been working 6 weeks. Did you already get paid? And I said, no.
Oh.
And they said, why didn't you ask? And I said, do I really need to ask? I don't know. And then the associate treasurer told me at that time, Fong, you did not go home until you come and pick up the check from me. I said, okay. So I get the check. And I know in that contract, I think they plan to pay me certain amount.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get my check, I think 150%.
150%.
Yes.
So extra.
Oh,
wonderful.
I just say thanks. What else can I say?
Yeah.
So, and then they give me the job, the permanent job. I was dealing with reconciliation with all the division, all the union under the Southern Asia Pacific Division. So I was doing that. And then my daughter graduated from high school. So she told me, she said, Mommy, where are we going? I said, well, I have been waiting. I'm thinking after 3 years to go back to my country. But since it's already 3 years, and I did not see the political
uprising.
Getting stable, everything. So I said, I don't know where to go, but let me start thinking about that. So I talked with my husband, and while I was studying in Philippines, there is one teacher that's very close to me. I think it's close in terms of he knows that I have to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
I have to raise my kids, and I have to work.
Yeah.
No. So he's very nice. And then when I was chatting with him, he said, why don't you go to America? I said, what am I going to do there? He said, well, you can study. And then some of my Korean friends, they said, Fong, don't go back to Indonesia. Go to America. And I said, for what? They said, yeah, I think your kids, their English, it's very good now. Your English, it's good too. I think you will be okay in America. I said, well, I don't know, but let me see. So I was doing all research and everything. And then finally we came to Texas. We decided to come to Texas. I have to go study again. And my kids go to study. So
when you got there, you had to do some additional education. Is that because in order to get to show that you had your degree, in America, to get a job in America, you had to do extra education?
No. I think, yeah, probably yes. I'm not really sure. But the reason I have to come to study, because that's the only way I can bring my family with me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. So either me or my husband have to study
Oh, I see. To get the visa.
to get the visa to bring all the family come here.
Mm.
So we come here, I studied, and then my kids go to school.
And your husband was with you?
Yes,
Okay.
husband with me.
Did he go to school also?
The first time he's not. The first semester he's not. But the second semester he has to go to school, because if not, his medical insurance that I have to cover, it's like 5,000 to 6,000 a year.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like if I spend insurance 6,000 a year, I rather pay school bill
Yeah.
10,000 a semester, and he can work legally.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that means something better for him and for us. So the second semester he start studying.
So you both you and your husband are studying. I can't imagine you have a lot of money if you're going to school. How did you pay for, and where did you live? How did you do that? It seems like you've gone from Indonesia, working very nice jobs, having a very nice house, having butlers, maids, or whatever it is, helpers over there, drivers, to now it seems almost in poverty inside. You were in Texas, is that right?
Yeah.
In Texas. Tell me about how you lived over there. Explain how that happened.
First time we came to Texas. Okay, before we go to America, before we come to America, I talked with my daughter and I said, we can go to America, but I don't have much money to pay your school bills. Are you willing to help working? And she said, well, definitely, Mommy, I can work.
And how old was she?
She's 16.
Okay.
She's 16 and she graduated from high school. And she said, yes, definitely I can do that, Mommy. I said, okay. And my husband said, what we are going to do? I said, you know what? The first thing, you cannot work because your visa will not allow you to work. But he took jobs, any kind of job.
Mm-hmm.
People asked to pick up the grass, that kind of stuff. He will just do it because he wants to do something to help.
Yeah.
So we came here. And then another thing, the teacher that taught me in Philippines moved to Texas.
Uh-huh.
So he's the one that helping me process all my paperwork and then preparing for me coming. Before we come, we were, applying for visa and anything. And I talked to him. I said, hey, as a family of 5, at that time, my nephew already joined me. So 6 of us.
So you took an additional child with you, which was your nephew, and he came over, which was
in Philippines.
In the Philippines.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I see.
when we have to come here, he wants to join us.
So you have both parents, you and your husband are in school, and you had to provide for 5 mouths to feed and house them too.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Yeah. So we arrived in Texas. First, the teacher that know me from Philippines, he picked me up. And then before I came, he already approached the dean of the school, the cafeteria, to give me free food for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And free lodging for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, he already have the list of all houses that I can rent. Mm-hmm. So when I arrive here, I have place to stay, I have food to eat, and then now I have to concentrate to find place to stay. So he said, okay, let me drive you around, get a house for you to live. I said, okay. After that, he said, okay, next thing you need to find a car.
Yeah.
I said, okay, go and find a car. And he bring me everywhere. And then the first time we rent a mobile home, 3 bedroom. 3 bedroom. So my son and then my nephews live in 1 bedroom. My 2 daughters, the other bedroom, and me and my husband, the other bedroom.
So this was the first house you had.
The first house we have in America.
So it was it a house? Was it a trailer? Was it how many?
Mobile home.
A mobile
home.
Okay.
Mobile home. And then
A 2-bedroom mobile home.
3 bedroom.
3-bedroom.
3 bedroom mobile home. And then we rented for that. And then everything it's before I moved to the house, I have a list of all people that give me from bed to linen to utensils
Oh, wow.
to everything. Everything. And then there's one person even give me money, said, hey, I'm going for vacation. I know I cannot see you, but please pass this to her through my teacher. Please pass this to her. I said, oh, okay. Thank you so much. I never think that American will be that way. And that's very touching for me. It's very touching. So, okay, after we get a house, try to manage everything in the house. I have to start looking for a job.
Yeah.
I look for a job, and then based on my experience, I can look for a job in the accounting finance. Of course, it's not easy because in the school, they already have certain employee doing that job. So I start to go and visit them, and they say, oh no, oh no, oh no. So finally, I apply in what? Cafeteria.
Cafeteria.
The cafeteria will always open for people to work. So I worked there. The first day, they told me, okay. And I came, they said, you have to clean the toilet.
Oh.
I never cleaned the toilet in my life. Never. Because remember, I have helper.
You
and
had helpers, yeah.
Even in Philippines, I think I have a part-time helper that come 3 hours a day. So I was cleaning the toilet and my tears just came out.
Oh, yeah.
And then I look at the mirror and I said to myself, Fong, why you cry? You determined that you're going to come here. You know all these consequences. Why you cry? I just take a toilet paper. I just take a tissue and wipe and clean everything. And that's the only day they asked me to clean the toilet.
Oh, wow.
After that, they never asked me to clean the toilet. So I work in the cafeteria for a couple months. And then somebody from cashier's office is looking for employee. So they reached out the cafeteria and they said, can we talk with Fong? And they said, yes. And I said, yes, how can I help you? And they said, oh, we want to interview for the job in cashier. Would you like to try? And I said, yeah, definitely. And I sent my resume that afternoon. I have interviewed. And then they said, okay, you can start working. I said, wait. I have to talk with my people in cafeteria. And then he said to me, how much they pay you? I'll pay you more.
Oh, wow.
And then I said, and then after that he realized, probably he said, well, but it's up to you. And I said, well, it's not, I'm picky about the job. But the job in the cashier office, it's more aligned to my major.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, okay, I understand, Fong. So I work in the cashier office for a year, while I take my masteral again. So, yeah.
So you were still living in the 3-bedroom trailer.
Okay, we live in the 3-bedroom trailer for a year, a year and a little bit more. And then after that, I was walking in the afternoon.
Was it a rental or was it
Rental.
rental? Okay.
Yeah, I was walking in the afternoon, and then my husband said, "Hey, there's a small house for sale." And I said, "Well, let's check how much the price." I don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have money. And he said, we look at the house. Oh, it's 47,500. You know, that's back 2006, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
2006. So after that, I said, well, he don't have that money.
Yeah.
But I think I can borrow money because I will graduate. I think I will graduate. I already graduate, I think. And I'm going to start looking for a job. I said, let's look for the house and then see what we can do. And then we look for the house and then we pray everything. And then I said, you know what? I don't have that much money. Why don't we talk with the realtor and tell them how much I can pay?
Mm-hmm.
And so I talked with the realtor and said, hey, would this person sell for 30,000?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, oh, no. They said they can owners financing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, I don't like that. I just about to look for a job and then I don't have money, but I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
again, and he talked, and then it's happened. This house has been in the market for months.
Mm-hmm.
The owner died.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter of the owner is old enough. Basically, she just want to get rid of the house.
Rid of it. Mm-hmm.
So finally, they said, "Okay, we will give you." And I said, "Oh, okay, 30,000." I look at my bank account. I think I only have 10,000.
10,000. Yeah.
Yeah, just 10,000. Just make sure that if something happened.
Yeah.
So I called my sister and I said, "Hey, can you borrow me 20,000 if I'm not wrong? I'm
Your
going,
sisters is still in the.
yeah, in my
Indonesia.
country.
Mhm.
And then as soon as work, I will pay you back." And she said, okay, don't worry about that. So she just sent me the money. So I bought that house cash and we moved to that house. So basically we did not pay rent now. Because in my brain, I pay rent $500 a month. A year, how much? 6,000,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I bought this house, 30,000.
Mhm.
In 5 years, I get free housing, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus a little, luckily I did not pay interest.
Mhm.
So basically, I don't have to spend money for rent.
And so this is, I think, is a key point. I know we just glossed over it real quick, but I think it's such an important point. I want to stop you right there and talk about it a bit, because I don't think many in America, including myself, when I grew up, really think about debt. We really think about the understanding of how much is it that I'm putting in towards something, and when do I actually make money off of it? Because for you, it was a transaction. You had learned through your business and through understanding, even from your upbringing from a long time ago, that there are swings in life from poor to rich to poor to rich, and we have to make sure we know what we're doing with our money in order to continue our life correctly. And so you were thinking along the lines of accounting and saying, okay, this is a $30,000 house, and by today's standard, that's really cheap. But
yeah.
I've been in that house, and it was small. It was just enough for you guys to live in, maybe 2 bedrooms. Is that right?
It's 2 bedroom, and we changed basically the laundry room.
Mhm.
We turned into bedroom, including laundry room.
Mm.
So we make that a bedroom. So it's basically 3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms. And yeah, and from my real estate background, I'm thinking, does it have a closet? Is it? And you couldn't permit it that way because it had to have, all that other stuff. But at least you could live in 3 different
Yeah.
bedrooms and have your kids in 3 different bedrooms, because they were growing up and they were
Yeah,
becoming
they are
older.
growing up, but we have a big yard.
Mhm.
It's like half acre. so they can run here and there.
And so that's really inexpensive for a house, but it was still, I mean, as you were coming to America, the exchange rate from Indonesia to America is pretty significant, probably hit you pretty hard.
Yeah.
And so you became from wealthy to poor almost overnight, coming and realizing I have only this much and I need just a little bit more to buy this house, and then we can survive after 10 years, correct?
After 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, after 5 years, because
5 years.
500 a month, 6,000 a year, 30,000 divided by 6,000, it's 5 years. It's payback.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that payback in our school. So, but beside that, yes, it's a payback period. So after that, we live rent free.
Mm-hmm.
And then with rent free, I will be able to collect that money and pay back to my sister. Instead of paying the landlord, I pay my sister back.
Yes. Yeah. And so you're able to pay that back and live rent free from then on. I think in America, we get the idea that mortgage is mortgage, and you give a mortgage for the rest of your life until you die. And you don't have to be that way.
No, we don't have to be. And then I heard somebody told me, well, mortgage interest, it's tax deductible.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, tax deductible, I agree. But how much you pay and how much the deductible.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you have to pay more.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you watch American advertising, it's always like, take now, pay later.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's convenient. But every convenience costs money.
Yeah.
Because they put all the interest in you and then take the money for them. And they, probably I'm sarcasm, but they sit there earning the money that you work really hard to make that money.
Absolutely.
So, and I try not to be that way. There is one funny things happen when I was paying my kids' school bill. I already work and I have about $5,000 in my bank account. And then I have to go to the school to pay my daughter's school bill.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, how much do I need to pay her for this semester?
Mm-hmm. Because
we have to pay up front, right? And she said, well, I said, I don't have much money. And she said, well, we need 5,000 for the whole semester. And I look at the advisor and I said, if I pay cash now, what will be the discount?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, oh, we give 5% discount. And I said, well, okay, I pay that 5,000. And she looked at me like really weird. She said, you told me you didn't have money. And now you want to pay 5,000 cash. And I said, here's the thing. Yeah. I only have 5,000. Either I pay you installment and missing the $250, because for me, every single penny make up. Or I give up my 5,000 using that 250 for my grocery for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Until I get paid, my next paycheck. And he said, Fong, I don't understand you. I said, well.
I completely understand. As an American growing up in America, completely oblivious to how money works, because I don't think we really take advantage of. We don't take advantage of how this works because we think this is how society works. You buy a car with finance, you buy a house with finance, you buy all this stuff.
Everything finance.
And you have it, and you look very wealthy, but everything is debt. And so,
yeah.
And so you, on the other hand, were saying, hey, look, this is how much I have. I am poor, but I don't want to use debt in order to make myself more wealthy. And so when you were saying, hey, you know what, you got to help me. Is there anything you can do? 5%? Yes, I'll take it. I'll take 5%. people think, well, this person's very wealthy because they have all this cash, but really that's all you have.
That's all I have. And then that's why she looks at me like totally weird. I don't understand you. I said, well, that's how I live my life. Yeah, but yeah, that's for me, every single thing make the difference.
And I think the lesson learned, and we're not done. I want to hear the rest of your story, but I think this is a pinnacle point. The lesson learned here is live within your means. I mean, if you're working at a Starbucks as a barista, or if you're working at a small restaurant, you can't go out and buy a $400,000 house. You can't, because even though you probably can afford it up to a point, you're not going to be able to make ends meet. And I resonate with that.
I want to share one thing with you. First job I have in America, it's working for a hotel as an accountant and controller. So I have my boss. And then it's funny thing. I look at my boss. He struggle every single thing, every single month. Struggle to pay which one first. Electric, water, or car, and that kind of stuff. And I know for sure he make twice as much as me because I do all the payroll. Definitely, I know how much they earn. Yeah. So, and then one day, and I hope people not take me wrong, but I watch him every single day. He will go to the vending machine and then get Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, whatever call in the vending machine. And one day I said, hey, why you take that? We have Diet Coke in the cafeteria where employee can take it for free. I said, oh, that's not nice. I like this one.
Convenience.
And he said, it's just $1. I said, it's $1. You have 3 every day, $3. In a month, you spend $100, which you can get that free.
Yeah.
Besides, I feel like so much sugar and that. That's not talk about health, but you spend something that you can get something for free, and it's not illegal to take that for free. No, it's prepared for the employee. So, but he struggled to pay his bill. He struggled, and he make twice as much as me, and he didn't have family. He just have 2 dogs with him.
Wow.
And I have to feed 6 people in the house.
Wow. So wealth is not how much you make, it's how much you save.
No, it's not how much you make. It's how you manage.
How you manage it.
Yeah, how you manage. Because I can share you one story in Hawaii. My husband worked with someone in the assisted living or convalescent, something like that. So they work, and then this guy makes so much money. I think combine my husband's salary and my salary, he earned probably more than both of us.
Wow.
He earned more than both of us. And every single day, it's not every it's almost every single day or week, he will borrow money from my husband. For me, it's weird.
Wow.
And then I said, why? And my husband said, I don't know, Fong. Up to the time, he wants to borrow money. And I feel like if we keep let him borrow money from us, it's not teaching him how to do good finances.
Right.
Because he has like IRS debt. And we already help him.
Yeah.
Okay, we pay, so IRS will not interest you, but you pay us back in 6 or 12 time installment. We already did. And every week still. So finally I told my husband, no, you are not going to borrow anything to him. And he said, but he get mad with me if I did not do it. And I said, if that's the case, and then you quit that job, look for another job.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's big.
Yeah.
My husband is small.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just punched one time, my husband will be out.
Oh.
So I don't want that to happen. And then one day, my husband told me, this is what he did. Because he cannot get money from my husband, he borrowed from the pawn shop?
Pawn shop.
Pawn shop.
Wow.
Pawn shop. And I said, how he borrowed that money? He said, he borrowed $300 and he has to pay at the end of the week $350. Okay? That pawn shop, you said it's 50, but that pawn shop make $50 out of $300 in a week.
Wow.
16% in a week. And then I said, well, what do you think if the pawn shop become us? I'm just joking with my husband. So, and then I said, okay, well, what do you think if you tell him we pay this and he never go back?
Mm-hmm.
No. What he did, he borrowed 300, the end of the week, pay 350, and then borrow another 300.
Oh, wow.
So paid another 350 the next week. So 1 month, you already paid $200, just interest.
It's a bad deal.
It's a bad deal. But he did that.
Yeah.
And I told my husband, that's why I said, if he's not going to educate himself, all our help to him will be a waste.
Absolutely.
And I like to help people if they are willing to learn to improve themselves.
Yes.
If not, no.
Yes. Yes. So you were at a crossroads. You were at a time in your life where you had this $30,000 house, and you still had to put the kids through college, and you were educating yourself at the college, right? For your visa.
No. I think when I have that house, I already done with my college.
Okay.
So I already start earning money.
Gotcha.
Not to pay rent. That's one thing. I already have free rent. And then whatever I earn, I save some so I can pay my sister. I think I pay my sister back in it's about 2 years, I think.
In 2 years.
Yeah.
So you're climbing out of the and you're teaching your kids at the same time, because they are just like you were at a young age, very poor, and they were very poor at a young age too. So they're learning that money is not something that's just free.
No.
Money is something you have to actually put work in for.
You have to earn.
And manage correctly.
You have to earn. And then there is one thing that I feel like, the way I watch a lot of my friends, things happen, and that there is a difference between earning and blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Earning, you can plan. Oh, I'm going to take that job, so I get paid 100,000 a year. But blessing, it's different. Something that you don't know. Because you can earn 100,000 a year, and then you went to the hospital and you finish up the 100,000. And that's where the blessing comes.
Absolutely.
So I feel as we live, I'm not saying I already know everything about the Bible, but if we live God's way, He will bless us.
Amen.
When He will bless us, like your car did not break for no reason. That kind of stuff. You did not end up in the hospital for no reason or something. So, and that's why I think, yes, I go along, but I feel like I am blessed. I'm the most blessed person. So if you ask me whether you choose to be rich or to be blessed, and I will choose to be blessed. Because a lot of my friends, they are rich, but I don't see that they live peacefully.
Right.
And I feel like when you are blessed, you live peacefully. Saying that in life we never make mistakes. Of course, we make a lot of mistakes. But as long as every time you make mistake, you go back and say, sorry, God, I make mistakes. Please guide me. And then I think we will back in the track.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So right now, you're at a point where you're doing okay. You have a house paid off, you have kids that are in school, and you have a job, right? Things progressed out of this and have become much better throughout life. Tell me what happened after that, and tell me not only this, but I also want to know about, if you're willing, tell me a little bit about some of the jobs you worked at and getting them out of financial difficulty as well.
Oh, yeah. I haven't graduated yet. I supposed to graduate in August. And then in July, my friends went for interview in Fort Worth. And then after interview, she called me. She said, Fong, would you like to interview in that place? I said, why? They offer me the job, but I think it's too far from my house.
And this was a hotel?
Yeah,
Okay.
in a hotel. So I said, well, I haven't graduated, but I can go for interview. So I went for interview. And then after interview, they said, well, you can start working. And I said, okay. I still have the job in the school and at the school at that time. Said, well, I will come on this date. So I talked to my supervisor in the school, in the cashier office. I said, hey, I get a job and they want me to start this date. And he said, oh, okay. So before I leave, my boss said, what do you think if I hire your daughter? Said, well, you can check. I can ask my daughter to come.
Which one? Which one was it? First daughter or second daughter?
Krista.
Okay.
Krista.
First daughter.
Yeah. And then it's funny thing. After Krista graduate, Krista get a job. And then before she left, they asked if they can hire Dacia. So that's how that job it's like, from me.
And this is graduating college or
College.
College.
Yeah. So I took the job. They offer me, so I start. When I start, they told me my salary will be $10 an hour. And then, of course, I have no clue what's the price range.
Sure.
I have no understanding that we can Google. I have nothing of that. Well, $10, it's okay. $10, I can work for $10. I can bring food to my kids. So I will start working, and I think after 3 days, we have a meeting, and there is a problem, and then we were talking, and then my supervisor said, well, there's no way we can solve this problem. And I think God gave me kind of knowledge, and I say to them, well, I think we can do it. We can solve this problem in 3 days. And then they said, sure you can do it? I said, yes, sure I can do it.
What was the problem?
I think there is a problem. Oh, I forget. I think it's accounts payable problem or something that we have to rekey in all the stuff and this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, we can do it.
Okay.
So, and then I just do it. And then after that, my boss came to me and he said, well, Fong, I'm going to pay you 12.5 instead of 10. I haven't get my first paycheck though. And I said, oh, okay, thank you. So, and then something happened too. They have another problem. And I was telling my boss, I said, I think I can solve this problem. And the owner said, well, I think it's too hard. I said, no, I think it's not hard. It's just okay. You can get it done probably it takes about a week. Said, okay. So I get it done in a week. And then he came back to me. He's the one that came back to me and said, Fong, I think I'm going to pay you salary. And then that salary convert to $14.50 an hour, basically.
And what year was this roughly?
2006.
Okay.
Yeah, 2006, I think. And I said, oh, okay, thank you. So I get 3 increase without even asking. I think that's a blessing for me. So my daughter, one by one, finish the school. And then Krista, so probably you were wondering how I pay all their school bill.
Yeah.
So when Krista in college, as she promised me, she's going to work. So the first year, I remember we have a house, so I cook breakfast, lunch, dinner for my kids. If I have to go to work 7 o'clock or 7 o'clock, I wake up like 5 o'clock and cook for breakfast, eat breakfast with the kids. The kids go to school and I go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I prepare food for lunch so they can eat lunch. And then come back home, I cook for their dinner. So we don't have, basically Krista don't have to pay food in the school. Just pay the tuition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So pay the tuition, I think the first year, the first semester, the first year, I think I pay 2,000 or 3,000 for her school bill.
Wow.
Because she paid off everything with her work.
Mm-hmm.
She worked as a teacher's assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And she works in the cashier office.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the night, if she has extra hours, she will say, Mommy, I will babysit somebody's kid.
Wow.
So she works there. And then I think after sophomore, she applied to be a student association treasurer. And then she get that job. And she came with me and said, Mommy, I need a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I said, for what? She said, I get a job as student association treasurer. And they are going to call me. We are going to have meeting. And I said to her, how much you make for student association treasurer job? She said, $200 a month. I said, okay. And then how much the cell phone costs for you a month? It's $35. Mm-hmm. And I said, go ahead and then take it and then do it. So she get the cell phone to cover her job, basically. And I think the second year, the third year, I pay less and less because she was able to earn her own money.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she's done nowadays. Yeah. I have a little saving basically for them go to college. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So before Krista go to college, I have like...
And this was saved before you moved to Indonesia or after?
Before I moved to Indonesia.
Sure.
Before I moved from Indonesia. So, remember I told Krista that I will not be able to pay all.
Yeah.
Because I only have like 30,000.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, this 30,000, it's going to pay the school bill for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then you have to work to make sure.
So but this savings of 30,000 is what you came to the United States with? Is that what I'm understanding?
No, that money is still in my country.
Oh, okay.
But I have that money.
Gotcha.
I have in the deposit or something like that.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. So when we moved to America, I bring that money with me, but for kids to go to school. Mm-hmm. So I never touched that except for tuition.
Even for buying a house, you were...
No,
okay,
yeah. Because it's very purposefully when
I know a lot of Americans that would say, we have nothing. And I think that we should dip into our savings account for our children. I have friends that have had that happen. and their parents let them know later on. I'm really, really sad when that happens, but I'm amazed you guys didn't do that. And I'm even so poor, you focused on saying the kids need this money. And so we're not going to, even though we have reached our bottom in Texas here, we're not going to catch that bill for the kids.
No, I never. So I'm very purposeful. Besides that, before I come, or when I am in America, my sister sent $50,000 because she's afraid that I'm going to get poor and then live with nothing.
Is this the same one that gave 20?
No.
Okay.
This is different one. This is the oldest one.
Different sister.
Yeah. But I put that money in I think I put in saving or anything like that. The when we arrive here until I get job. When I get job, I can guarantee to my sister everything is okay. So I return her money.
So you never used it?
Never use it.
Well,
never use it.
So may I ask you a question I think that everyone's going to have questions on? It seems that since all your sisters and your siblings, your seven, you said your mother and father had 7 kids. They were all raised during the time that had a very, very traumatic finances. So they probably learned finances at least most of your children or most of your siblings. Is it safe to say that most, if not all, of your other sisters and brothers are also doing well? It seems that if they're able to send $30,000 from $50,000.
Yes, they are doing well. Actually, if you think, and I used to joke with my friends, probably I'm the poorest in my family. I'm the poorest in my family, but I don't feel that. I feel like I'm very blessed. I feel that I'm very blessed.
Are you saying that at this point in your life, you're still the poorest, or at that time in Texas, you were still?
Even now.
Even now. Yeah.
Even now, I'm probably the poorest of them.
Can you briefly say just a couple things of what your family does over there? Don't give the whole story, but.
My oldest sister, she now retired, but she has a travel agent company. That my oldest sister.
What is a travel agent, you said?
Travel agency.
Oh, travel agency.
Yeah, so basically, but her travel agency, it's for trade fair. It's not for vacation. She added a little bit, just okay, if you go for work to attend a trade fair in somewhere and you want to have an extra, it's vacation, it's okay. But her major business, it's the trade fair, and she retired, I think, couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, if I'm not wrong.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Good.
My other sister have sauces?
Food. Yeah.
Food company. So she makes like hot
sauce,
tomato sauce, pepper, salt, in that small things, all of that thing. She has like three middle-sized factory, if I'm not wrong now. And she's in the process of building another huge factory.
So she's becoming her own Little Debbie.
Yeah. And then her food, it's not just selling in Indonesia. Even the last time I heard that a person from Arab Saudi come and sign contract with her. Yeah.
So it sounds like all your family, if not some of them, or siblings, really got really smart on how to do business through that age of growing up. They really understood the money.
Yes, I can say yes. And then I'm not sure if I say this wrong or not, but I even feel like that's already in our blood.
Yeah, sure.
That's already in our blood. Because if you can imagine, I never teach Daisha to do business at the age of 11.
Yeah.
One day she talked to me, "Mommy, are you going to go to the market tomorrow?" Oh no, first she said, Mommy, can I borrow 100 pesos from you? And I say, for what? No, you don't need to ask for what. I'll just borrow. I'll pay you back. Trust me, Mommy, I'll pay you back. I said, oh, okay.
Okay.
And then, so I have to give 100 peso, cannot ask anything. The next Sunday, before Sunday, like Saturday night, she said, Mommy, are you going to the market tomorrow? I said, yes. Can I join with you? I said, yeah, what you're going to do there? Don't ask what am I going to do. Just let me go with you. I said, okay. But, Mommy, I'm going to go with Daddy, and you just go shop alone. Daddy will go with me. I said, okay. So I let them do it. And then after I go buying groceries, everything, I come to the car. Have a lot of candies. Candies, bubble gum, everything.
How much can 100 pesos buy?
I think it's quite a lot though. It's quite a lot.
How much is pesos in American?
US dollar, I think $1.50 at that time.
$1.50 pesos.
50 peso.
So it was probably for $2, but inflation and all that stuff, it was probably more like $10 probably back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she said to, and as I look at the candy, she knows my reaction will be, I don't like it. Because I told them not to eat candy a lot, And then said, Mom, don't get mad, okay? Okay, Mom, just calm down. Don't say anything. I said, okay. Okay, so we arrived home. I was thinking, what she's going to do with the candy? And then finally, when we arrived home, she started to go in the kitchen and try to look for a jar, and she put all the candy in the jar. And I said, oh, okay. And then she take us our table, our small table, and she put everything in there, all the jars. I said, what's she's going to do? She said, I'm going to sell, Mommy. And I said, how is she going to sell? She bring an aluminum bowl outside. It's like break time for the school. She bring the aluminum bowl outside, and then she starts spanking with spoon. Bang, 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 bang. And everybody said, Disha, what happened? Disha, what happened? And she said, no, I have a store. I have a small store inside my apartment. And then she sit there and then start selling all this candy.
Oh, she started selling.
She start selling all the candies. But from that small business that she has with 100 pesos, I think after probably a year, she was able to make 3,000 pesos a month.
A month?
A month. 3,000 peso a month.
So people got around that she had this store going. She was able to take it and buy more candies and more candies and more candies.
And then it's not just candy. After candy, she started to buy toys.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day she was playing toys and I said, Disha, you haven't sell and then you use it. You know how you're going to make money? And then she said to me, Mommy, if I did not use it, how people knows how to play this toy?
Yeah.
And I think, that makes sense. Probably I just didn't have the marketing sense. She has better marketing sense than me. So she started playing and she sell a lot. So every break time, she came home, take food, eating food while selling stuff. That's what she did. And then back in my country, we like to eat out like once a week, And then when we go to Philippines, we stop because, we don't have much money. Mm-hmm. And she said, Mommy, starting now, we are going to eat out every Sunday. I'm going to pay for that. And I feel like, wow. But Well, what you say, she already said. She make the rule and everything. Okay, mommy, just follow. Yeah, but that's what happened.
She found a need, which was the kids, and she knew the kids wanted candy,
Okay, yeah.
and she fulfilled it and made a business out of it.
Yeah.
At such a young age.
Yeah. And that's one thing I honestly thank God. I'm just a mother that probably did not know how to teach them, but God give them wisdom to understand the need of the family and everything. And I never asked them to help me raising fund or that kind of stuff. But they did that.
Yeah.
They did that.
Yeah. And which is what she went into marketing, right? Marketing in college.
Yeah.
What she did.
She wants to go for entrepreneur. And I told her, I said, you know what? I don't think that's good for, I'm not saying it's not good for her, but it's already in your blood. Why you have to go to college for that? Look for something else that will giving additional point to your life.
Yeah.
So she took finance and marketing. I said, because when you took finances, when you have your own business, nobody can cheat your accounting.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can steal money from you without you knowing that, because you have the knowledge.
Yes.
And then marketing, just why you learn marketing, because this is different from our country. So you have to understand how to market in America better than, better basically.
Very good. Very good. So take me down the road. You're still in Texas at this point, and we don't have to go into everything up until this point, but I want to give an overview of your successes and how you've also helped other businesses as well.
Okay, like I said, when I took the job in Texas, they owe vendors, they owe electric company, and this is a hotel. So my boss always scared if he get a call, especially look at a call, the number it's from electric company, he won't pick up the call. But I told him, I said, we cannot do that, because I have one, probably it's basic on all things that I'm doing. I always keep golden rule. Do to others what you want others do to you. That's golden rule. So if I call you and you never pick up your phone and you owe me money, I'm going to get mad, right? So he never pick up. And he said, no. They're going to come and cut off the electric. And then what happened this hotel? I said, yeah, but you have to talk to them. No. We don't have money to pay. So don't pick up the phone. I said, okay. One day he's not there. I pick up the phone. So I pick up the phone and then I said, hey, how can I help you? And he said, well, you owe 5 months electric bill never pay.
My.
And I said, okay, I see that. And I said, hey, let me tell you something. I'm new in here, but I admit that's company debt.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm new here. So I'm still learning and all this kind of process. Can we make a deal? And he said, what kind of deal? I said, here, you come, you cut off my electric. Hotel cannot run without electric. You know that. So hotel debt, you debt, because I will not be able to pay the bill. And he said, yeah, and then what? Why don't you froze that number? I think basic 2006, it's 250,000 we owe them. 5 months electric bill, 250,000. I said, you froze that number.
$250,000 in electric.
I'm going to keep paying every month. Never owe you anything. I'm going to pay every time I get the bill, I will pay you. Whenever I have extra cash flow, I'm going to start paying off the 250,000. Wow. And he said, hey, Fong, I think that's a good deal. Okay, don't ever call me again, okay? To cut off my electric. I said, yeah, I will never do that. So that's happened. And I pay off the bill in 15 months.
Oh, wow.
After 15 months, I was able to manage the cash flow and everything. So I pay off that, I start paying off, I think, month 4 or month 5, and then pay off in month 15. So they have other vendor that did not pay it. And then the debt collector start calling me. Da, 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 da. And I said, okay. He said, oh, you have this much debt. I said, okay, I'm new. What can I do? And I said, can we bargain 1 to 50? Meaning to say, if I owe them $1,000, I pay 500 and they will write off the rest. And he said, there are some company agree, some not. But they said, yes, but you have to overnight the check. And I said, overnight the check, it's $15 at that time, if I'm not wrong. I'm not going to spend $15. No, that's not necessity. And I said, this is the check number. I'm not going to overnight because overnight it's cost me a lot. I'm going to pay 25 cents USPS first mail.
Sure.
First, they don't like it. I said, you don't like it? It's okay. No deal. And so finally, I think they lose threatening me.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I would say, they lose threatening me. I was able to pay off all their debt.
Oh, wow.
For, I think, 14, 15 months I worked there. They pay off. So then in the hotel, we have a lot of contract. And we have to have a new contract after a new contract. And then I start to negotiate the contract. And then something I found it's funny because in the hotel, you have all your employee that work as a cleaning service, they have to use uniform. All in the kitchen have to use uniform. And I can write the contract with somebody with the price less than 5 years ago. The first contract that they have. Like their first contract, assuming like $1,000, I get with $900 for the same quality, the same everything.
It's just managing the money correctly.
Managing the money correctly.
Daily looking at the budget, daily looking at what's coming in and going out and saying, do you need this?
Yeah. It's my philosophy of spending. It's spend for something that you need, not what you want.
Yeah.
Because here's what I feel. The Bible said that we have to live content. And then I'm not sure people understand probably better than me, but I will phrase things like this. God promised to fulfill your needs, but God never promised to fulfill your wants. Why? Because the more you have, the more you want. And then that's why I said even God cannot fulfill your wants. God can do everything, but cannot, not because God cannot, but because you keep wanting more and more and more.
Yeah.
And then that's, people ask, because I know accounting and finance, oh, Fong, what is the formula? I said, my formula, it's very easy. It's just spend what you need and not what you want. Oh, if that's the case, and you never spend, you never enjoy your life. Of course, I enjoy my life. You remember back 2008.
Yeah.
Right? When the economic started falling down. I was working as the treasurer of a school at that time. Business manager of the school. And then a parents came to me and said, hey, Fong, so what you cut? I said, what do you mean? This economic, it's going down. What you cut in your household? I said, no. And she looks at me, she said, you didn't cut anything? And she mentioned to me, she said, I cut my dine out. Usually 3 times a week, now it's 1 time a week.
Her den? What is it?
Dine out.
Oh, dining out?
Dining out, yeah. And I said, well, I did not dine out until I have extra money. So I don't have to cut anything. Because if you ask me to cut, and I will starve. That's all because I only buy what I need.
Yeah.
And then people said, oh, I need Mercedes-Benz. I need this Cadillac. I need this. No, we need transport. I remember there's another company that I worked. And then we were discussing, and then one person insisted to have internet. That huge band. Because his kids playing games in the night.
Oh, okay.
He didn't tell anybody, but at that time the entity covered everything, including internet in the house. And I told him no. And he said, oh, well, we need for the school. I said no. And I said, hey, if you need transportation, Corolla, it's okay. We don't need Mercedes-Benz. And then they insisted. So they talked to the president.
Oh.
And then I think the president misunderstand and he approved.
Oh.
He approved that. So one day his wife came to me and said, hey, Fong, I need $2,000 to fix somebody's house. And I said, why you ask me? And she said, yes, because you are the CFO of this entity. I said, your husband spent something without my approval. Why should you ask me? It's so funny. I didn't know. She called her husband after get out of my office. She called her husband. And then 15 minutes later, her husband called me. Hey, Fong, what's problem? I said, what's problem? No problem. I said, yeah, but my wife said blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, true, right? You approve to spend very high megabytes of internet. Mm-hmm. And then you disagree with me. He said, no, they told me without that they can operate. I said, no, that's not true. So he said, okay, wait 50 minutes. I'll call you back. In that 50 minutes, he met with all of them by phone. And he said, I cancel what I decide.
Wow.
Because we need only Toyota Corolla and we didn't need Mercedes-Benz. I just laugh. But yeah, that's a lot of things. I work for another school. Mm-hmm. Okay. They are in bad shape. And then as soon as I take over the job, and then it's almost graduation time. And then I see in that table, they order Tesla, overnight shipping. Mm-hmm. I look at that and I said, graduation, it's 2 weeks from now. But they order overnight shipping. So I go to them and I said, next time, no overnight shipping. Well, Fong, we need that. You can plan ahead. I'm not going to pay overnight shipping. If you order overnight shipping, you pay for overnight shipping. Yeah. I'm not going to pay. And then probably people feel like I'm so
stingy.
But I'm not. Because $15 here, $30 here, $20 here. A month, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's, beside that, they have contracts. They have maintenance contract with another company. And we have maintenance guy there. And then, look at the contract, it's like 5,500 per quarter, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 5,500. That's back 2007. So it's a lot. So I called the maintenance guy. I said, I don't think we need this contract. And he said, of course we need. I said, okay, how many times in a day you need their help? How many times in a week you need their help? How many times in a month? And how many times in a year? Oh, probably we need about 2-3 times a year. And why you have contract? 22,000 a year.
Wow.
He said, well, it's just easier. Their answer is always like that. It's easier. I said, it's easier, but it's cost the school 22,000.
Right.
Do you know that? And he said, well, Fong, it's okay. I said, okay. So I called the company. This is a contract. So we cannot break the contract, right? I called them and I said, hey, I want to cancel the contract. They said, of course you cannot, because the contract you cannot cancel. I said, well, it's up to you. You have two choices. We cancel the contract and we have business with you. Every time I need you, I call and you come and give me the code for the price and I pay you. Or you keep the contract and I will never pay you. So you have two choices. And finally he said, okay, I choose I cancel the contract and we have keep business with you.
Wow.
I said, okay. So at least we saved 22,000. That's just one small thing.
Yeah.
Which there is a lot of people did not pay attention.
Right.
One day in the company, every time I receive a bill, I did not just pay the bill. What this bill for? What service they give to us? So one day I receive a bill from a copy machine company. You may remember in this country, people renting the copy machine, lease, what they call lease. Because people say, oh, you just pay $750 a month and you have a good machine.
Yeah.
Right? One day, I received this. And I was looking for the copier that they use. The copier, it's in the dungeon, stuck with all papers. They never use, but we keep paying $300 a month. What sense behind that?
Right.
There's no sense. You don't need to spend that money.
Right.
So I called the copier machine and I said, pick up your machine. I'm not going to pay. Let's cancel the contract. And then one thing that you have to remember too, and this is probably it's more professional things. When you have profession and you deal with contract, make sure to read very carefully termination clause. Because termination clause, it's always tie you. The reason why I said that, because several entity that I work, they have contract that this is how it says. If this 3 years done, they will renew automatically. And that word automatically, you have to say no. Because when they renew automatically, you have no grip of saying what.
And oftentimes they only have like a month to cancel it.
And then they will say, if you did not call or email us 2 months before. Yes, always have something that you have to put in brain. But nowadays, Google, it's so easy. You put in the calendar. They will remind you.
Yeah.
My daytime, I don't have Google. But I put in note. Okay, this date, my copy machine I have to remind them. This date, I have to, all things it's in the termination clause, I always have to put in the note. So to kind of, because that machine that I said they pay 300, not because they decide to renew, but the company renew automatically because the contract said so.
Yep.
So after that, I said, no, it will be, first, they renew automatically. You have to avoid that. Secondly, they renew the contract automatically yearly. So you stuck in a year. If they said if you happen feel like, well, I just do automatically. But you have to make sure it's monthly. So you can cut off any month. So the first choice, no automatic. The second choice, if you have to, you don't have choice. And then make sure renew automatically monthly. And then that's the thing that a lot of people did not pay attention on that.
Don't just accept the contracts. Read them, figure
Read
out.
them carefully. Read them carefully. I have another school that an entity that I manage. They have 6 or 7 different buildings. So in 5 buildings, they have 5 copier machine. No, they have each in that different building. So they have 5 copier machine. So when I buy the copier machine, I did not go through the copier company. I pay cash. Here's the reason why. Copier machine, they come to you. Oh, you just sign list with me. You have 5 copier machine. Each machine only 350 a month only. Okay? But when you realize in the machine price, they already up, first thing. The second thing, every month you pay 350 times 5, 1,750. If assuming you save 1,250, you still have 500 for buying ink, buying every time, and if there is broken, you can fix it with the $500. But a lot of people did not think that way. Somebody even told my president, I think that's the worst decision she ever made as a CFO. Because I bought the machine cash, and here's what make him mad. They used to buy machine leasing, so every time call, people come. That time, the machine just arrived. I forget what's the brand of the machine. The machine just arrived. I think the person that bring the machine, or they plug wrongly, and the machine did not work.
Okay.
So when they called the machine company, machine said, well, since you didn't have contract with us, so we cannot come and fix. So they came to me and I called the machine company. I said, are you telling me that you sell me 10,000 copier machine for junk?
$10,000 copier machine. Huh?
$10,000 copier machine. And then just one day, no even work, and you said you cannot come and fix it? Are you selling me a junk? This is, okay, we will send technician to fix it. I said, you better sell a good thing. And they come, no even an hour, they just do, and then done.
And it's fixed, yeah.
And then that person already report to my president that I'm probably the stupid CFO ever. Well, whatever, I don't care.
Yes, you're saving money, and that's the goal is to save the company.
Yeah, because 10,000, if you rent with them, like sometimes 350 to 750. How much is use 5 years? 750 times 12, $9,000. $10,000 you get cash.
Yeah. And so you're at this point where you've helped not only your family out of poverty, and you have also helped other companies out as well. How are your kids doing?
My oldest daughter, right now she has like 3 rental housing, and I know for sure she paid off at least 2. My son had 1 rental housing, and he did not pay off because at that time he signed the interest rate like 3.6. But she has another house that she live right now. It's almost pay off. He planned to pay off in 2 years. So what? And I know Daisha have 1 house, probably 2 house pay off if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 2 house pay off. And on top of that, I want to make sure to you that's all God's blessing.
Absolutely.
Beside the way I live, because I don't think I'm a mother that talk too much with the kids. I very rarely talk, but I know God know my weaknesses, and He fell into my weaknesses to make my kids know what the right thing to do.
Not only has God blessed, but He's also allowed you to teach your children and for the whole family to learn and how to understand how to manage money. Because the biggest thing I see here in America, and maybe this isn't just an American problem, but it's a human problem. But there are a lot of people that feel that they just have had a portion of their life that isn't going as well as they think it should, and so that's the reason why they can't just get ahead in this world. When maybe it's choices.
It's choices.
It's
And
choices.
yeah, I think it's choices. And I was told there are several websites, or there are several tools out there that teaching you how to live financially good. And then when I see that, I usually like to know how I like to learn. But the bottom line that I learned all the things, it's go back to your self-discipline.
Yes.
Because there's one that said, "Oh, you can do this, you can do that," and I said, "What if they cannot do this?" And they said, "Oh, you will stay in in lower level, blah blah blah." And I said, "Tell me, so your program basically requires self-discipline?" And they said, "Yes." But probably saying self-discipline, it's a little bit hard for Americans to chew it.
It's broad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too broad. And that's why they have to do it step by step. But for me, I'm a kind of person that I just like to grab the idea and then do it. And that's why I said, for me, it's like spend what you need and not what you want. And you will have enough every time you need anything. You will have enough. You will even have more for you to enjoy life without that. I personally don't like that.
Yeah.
Because I think it's not. I think that's biblical too. When you become a slave of the
Yes.
landlord, right? I was the business manager of a school. One day, I present the financial statement, and then my bank account have only $2,500. And then my boss said, "Fong, are you crazy?" I said, "What do you mean?" "I'm not." And he said, "How can your bank account only have $2,500 and you manage this school probably with, I think it's about 2-3 million a year."
Wow.
I think 2-3 million if I'm not wrong. And you only have $2,500. And I said, "But I don't owe anybody. So what's wrong with that?" And he said, "Well, but you have to have a lot of money. You have to show more money in the bank." I said, "No, but I don't have any debt. You can check all my file. I have no invoice that I haven't paid." The other thing that I am
This is for the business's checking
business.
account. Okay.
Yeah. And then I said, a lot of people say this, "Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot pay."
Yeah.
It's that common in
Yeah.
America. People say that
All the time.
all the time.
My wife and I
Right.
have rentals, and I remember some of the rentals people coming to us and saying, "Well, I can't pay this month." I said, you need to have a roof over your head. This is the primary thing you need to have, not extra things. You don't need an RV. You don't need a four-wheeler. You don't need any of these toys. You need to be able to have a roof over your family's head. And so I've had people come up to me to say, "No, I can't pay this month." I said, "You can't stay here anymore then."
Yeah, yeah. For me, it's not. I always say, I can pay, but what things that I cannot buy, because once you buy, you have to pay. There is no excuse you cannot pay.
Mm-hmm.
So no word in my life I cannot pay. But if I said I cannot buy, that's a lot of time. I cannot buy. And then if you discipline yourself, come to the point that you really don't realize you don't need a lot of things except what it's necessity.
Yes.
Yeah. And then people did not realize, I have a friends move from Illinois to Michigan. It takes 1 week for them to sort out their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I make fun of him. I said, you have too much STUFF. Because of that, people have to come help him.
Yeah.
But when you realize all the stuff that he has, he doesn't need.
No.
And then when you don't need stuff, it's hard for you to sort it out.
Yeah.
Because, okay, can I throw this? Oh, I want that. Can I throw this? Oh, no, I want that. It's not what you need, but you want that. In America, I moved already probably 6, 7 times. And then people always say, how hard moving for you? I said, no hard at all. 2 luggage, whatever it's not filled in that 2 luggage, you have 3 choices. Give it away, throw it away, or sell it.
Yeah.
So if whatever not put in the 2 suitcases, that's all your choice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always, it's very easy for me and my husband. We move everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't have stuff that's going to weigh you down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to buy it. It takes you away from your budget and
Takes away from your budget. Takes your time to handle that.
yeah.
Sometimes you did not realize that. I remember the first time we got married, my husband, Christmas, bring the whole Christmas tree. Of course, we like Christmas tree. I like Christmas tree. But I work so busy, I don't want to take care. So after the first year, I give it away. He's not happy, but I said, if you want to bring it here, you take care of that. Not leave it for me to take care, because I told you I don't need that. Oh, but we like to see Christmas light. Let's go to the supermarket. They have Christmas light, huge, even bigger than us. That's all.
Sure.
That's easy.
Lots of things. Yeah.
Lots of things, yeah. People sometimes people become slave of what they don't need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They did not realize that. They did not realize. You have 1 car in the house. Oh, I want the other one. Once you have the other one, you have to clean.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wipe the mirror. You have to wipe everything. You have to make looks good, and you didn't use it.
Yeah.
I have everything in my house what I need,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have anything that I don't need.
I think there's wise counsel that says that it is towards the end of time that we will need to economize. We will need to reduce what we have so that we can prepare for a time, no buying and selling, prepare for a time where we have a lot less. And so economize is a very good thing to do. And that's what you're talking about, economizing. Very good. Well, it sounds like, it's quite a roller coaster going from growing up with the second wealthiest man in the city, going down to poverty, learning about finances, coming back up, having help, having drivers, having maids to help raise the kids, going back down to living in a trailer with 3 other kids and your husband, and then coming back up and owning multiple houses. You've had quite a journey, and I think that it's a testament to not only an understanding of how God has blessed you, but also an understanding of how money works and how this country and other countries can provide that if you have a good, diligent understanding of money and work well and have good work ethic too. Wouldn't you say that's true?
Yes, I agree with you, Dad. And I feel like God has been blessed me, but beside that, as a person, I have to do my part. God will not bless you if you just lazy doing nothing and expects your boss to promote you.
Yeah.
Because one thing, when you become the boss, will you promote your lazy people? No, right?
No.
Yeah. So the same thing. Back to golden rule. And I think we have been blessed. So for me, beside I keep golden rule, I have to say that do whatever you can, and then God will bless you. God will fill in the gap what you are lacking of.
Absolutely.
There is a lot, like I said, like my mom, can she just can give up and then get rid of 7 kids. But she's not. She said, okay, God, if you give these 7 kids, you have to help me, and I will commit to raise them.
Amen.
And then she did. The other thing that I hope I'm not wrong and I'm not judgmental, but there is a lot of things in this country that I feel like people feel they are victims.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Victim.
And I don't like the victims mentality. I against that in my life. I'm not saying people cannot do that. It's their choice. But for me, I'm not a victim. We always have to say, we can do it. The other mentality that I said, because I sit in the board member, and there are times that they will say to me, well, Fong, we cannot do that. All things have to be, government have to supply. I said, once you said you cannot do it, you will not be able to do it.
Right.
Because you, in your mental, you already said, I cannot do it. Of course you cannot do it. Because I was trying to teach, it's not to teach, I was trying to guide all the entity that I was handling to be self-supporting.
Yeah.
Self-supporting. And then there is a lot of them against that. Against me by saying, no, government have to come and help, blah, 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 blah. And I said, no. Once you already said we can, we will not be able to. Like I think I shared with you that I work in the entity that's like very financial struggle. And this is Christian entity. So when I first time came there is a department that have a meeting, and then the head department talked to me. She said, hey Fong, they want you to come in the meeting. I said, for what? She said, I don't know. I said, okay. So I came there, sitting in their meeting. And after that, they said, well, Fong, it's here. Do you have any question? And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, I'm not sure what your question looks like, but I will tell you, guys. My sense saying that your question is going to be, are we going to survive in this company or not? Because they have been one time not get paid for 6 months because the entity is so hard in money. But I said, I think that might be your question. Okay, let me explain to you guys. I come here as your CFO. I come here just write it down all you guys think in a book. I'm not the one that's determined whether this institution is going to survive or not. You will determine whether this institution will survive or not.
Yes.
I said, because if you just work lazily, how can you expect this institution is going to survive?
Yeah.
And then one person stand and she said, yeah, Fong, but this is Christian institution. Isn't that Christian institution have to be nice? I said, definitely, you're right. But as a Christian people, we have to work like we work for the Lord.
Yeah.
Not waiting for the supervisor to come and check your work. No. So we don't need the supervisor because you guys do your job good.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I just sit and then the head department said, okay, guys, do you have any question for Fong? Nobody asked me question. So I just leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's life.
That's life. That's
That's life for me.
The mentality is what we focus, and that's helps us actually continue to do what God asks us to do, which is
yeah, and then that gives you the opportunity to give.
Yeah.
Because you were blessed, you give it back, you know. So yeah, I just hope that this country will embrace that live between your means, golden rule, spend what you want, spend what you need, not what you want. Sorry.
Yeah.
Spend what you need, not what you want. And I think they will live peacefully. Not worry about bill it's going to come. Not worry about the debt collector is going to call you. No.
Absolutely.
Because I believe, if you live content based on the Bible, God promise will supply our needs. I'm not sure what is in the Bible, but I know it's in the Bible.
It's a good place to end. Can you have a blessing or a prayer for us?
Father, we thank you so much for this opportunity to share about you and how much you love us and you want us to live happily. But most of the time, the trouble that creates, it's because of our choice. Help us to do your will in our life, Father. Guide each one of us that we will be ready for your second coming. Thank you for loving us and thank you for forgiving our sins. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.